So hello everyone,
Hello.
welcome to the new day and new vlog. Today we have with us our beloved Muntasir. How are you, Muntasir?
Going fine, everything's going good.
And today's topic is,
Exam review system in RPTU Kaiserslautern.
and in Germany, our exam review, you can say experience as well. We thought that we discussed about various subjects one by one, right? The subjects that we took in which semester. Then we came down to individual experience.
Yes.
Then we discussed how was the exam. We also discussed how was our deregistration experience. But sometimes we also go for exam review. So we thought that today we'll discuss about our exam review experience in Germany in RPTU Kaiserslautern. What we study, Muntasir?
So we study computer science,
Yeah.
and to start with that for exam review,
Yeah.
the lecture behind that is when you give any exam.
Yeah.
After the exam, there is a chance that the professor will tell you, or the assistants of the professor will tell you that come, your result is published.
Yeah.
This is your result, and come to this room or anywhere
Yeah.
where you can see your paper.
Yeah.
How they have made it
Evaluated.
marked. Yeah, they have evaluated it.
Correct.
And then based on that, if you have any doubts,
Yeah.
you can say that why this mark is rejected,
Yeah.
or why I got this GPA or anything.
Correct.
And also there is a chance that if you can prove them that your thought is right, you have graded it proper way, and if they found it logical, or sometimes
Yeah.
what happens is they miss some very rare question, they miss some questions to mark.
Yeah,
So
just
if
to
there is
verify.
any case of such that, then you can tell them and they will change your result as well.
Yeah, but it really depends if they increase your marks, if they find something like that. So we thought that we'll discuss this, like how was our exam review experience, starting with, I think, in QMQA, which was our very first exam here in
Correct.
RPTU Kaiserslautern.
That's true.
For that, we went to the review.
Yeah, we got a mail that your exam review will be there.
Yeah.
So there is a room name, number, and time as well.
Time slot is
so
mentioned.
we went there. There was a long line.
Yeah.
And 5 or 6 students were going there.
Yeah.
And then they are actually taking our ID card
Yeah.
for that, and then giving us the paper. We are saying that okay,
Yeah.
everything is marked. Everything is there any confusion?
Yeah.
Sometimes we are asking why it is like we have just marked this way.
Yeah.
Then they are answering us as well, and then we saw
Yeah.
okay, we are good enough.
Yeah, so certain set of students are invited in the room. As he said, you have to bring your ID card, like you are reviewing your own copy, and then you can take your paper, discuss various points with the tutors, you can say, or the assistants who are available there for that subject, and they can tell you. Sometimes they don't, means if you ask that, tell me this answer, it's like you have to clarify your query,
Correct.
not directly asking for answers sometimes.
Yeah. I believe we have the similar experience in data visualization as well.
Yeah.
And I believe there, if you can't just ask answer like what is the answer.
Yeah, what is the answer of this question?
Maybe you answer some question, and then they will say that okay, this question is how this is what
is
I
supposed to
answered.
be answered.
This is how this is supposed to be answered.
Correct.
For example, for data visualization, my experience was for one question I explained them properly, and then they agreed yes, their question was correct, and then they changed my mark.
Yeah, similar thing happened to me in QMQA as well for one of the points. Like if they find that okay, you have justified the theory, or you can refer some PPT as well,
Correct.
and can show the people there, then they might increase your marks as well, because I think it can change your GPA as well in a nutshell.
Yes.
So in data visualization, if I remember, then I think they were also inviting students batch by batch.
Badge by badge.
And you can go inside and you can check your copy and discuss there. As I said, since also for the previous year papers, right, we can discuss our queries. Even for the review, we can discuss our queries, what we have written, why it's not marked, if you want in a certain way. But asking our answers directly, is somewhat
It's not like suggested.
because they are there, I think, for solving your queries, not to publish direct answer sheets as well, even for the previous year papers. I
Yes.
believe, because we have Kai portal for that, and you can just
Find it there.
Yeah.
I believe the main theme is to verify that they have marked evaluated your results in a proper way.
Correct.
They didn't make any mistake.
correct. And if any question is missed or not, because
Correct.
usually I think checking is done in a good way.
Correct.
Like they try to give you marks as it is there, you know. And sometimes if it is logical, your answer, if somewhere the checking is missed, then you can inform. If the total is not right, then you can inform. But in some cases it can happen, you can justify your answers and maybe discuss with the person there. But I think they mark in such a way that
That's true.
it's good, it's already good. Now if we come to SPPM, I think SPPM review was also quite similar to QMQA process.
Yes, that's true. These are like common formats for most of the subjects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I believe the exceptions are there for some subjects,
Yeah.
where the professor is not actually in RPTU,
Yeah.
but from nearest institute,
Yeah.
like from Fraunhofer or DFK.
yeah,
So first one I would say our PLE or product line engineering.
correct.
The professor was Martin Baker.
Yeah.
So our review was not in any room of RPTU,
RPTU.
but it was in
Fraunhofer. Yeah, although we went to DFKI first.
That's true. So that's another video you can see. So we went there and we again were in a room. Professor was asking in a group, and we were getting our results. And for one of the student, it happened that somehow some questions was not marked.
Yeah,
So and for us, I believe we had like
We discussed with the professor.
answered the question, but somehow it's maybe we could not express it proper way. So that was not full mark. So then we discussed with the professor and we discussed that okay, this is how the exercise was
Yeah.
answered. That's why we wrote this kind of way.
Yeah.
And the professor was satisfied with our answer, so he changed our marking as well.
correct. So the thing happened was, since in product line engineering one has to be, you know, quite quick while writing the answers. It's somewhat theoretical as well, and some mathematical part was there where you have to fill some tables. For some of the answers, I think we wrote the bullet points.
Correct.
If you can explain those bullet points, that see this is there in the PPT, and I wrote it in a brief way, and then you can explain your brief solution. Then professor, you know, agreed and
Agreed,
maybe
correct.
increase the marks.
Yes,
But you have to have some reference for
Reference
that,
for
right?
that,
That you are explaining your points well. So then I think in that case our marks got increased. So
Yes.
it can happen sometimes for some subjects. Like if you ask to increase the marks, then you can get a justification that why it shouldn't be increased. So you can clarify that with the people who are there. Now similarly we went to Fraunhofer for our product line engineering review. One by one he called, the answer sheets were given to us, although they always mention I think the venue, the time when you have to come. And we went for collaborative intelligence, I think in DFK.
In DFK, correct.
Yeah.
So that's similar to the PLE experience.
Yeah.
We went there. There was fixed time. We went there. We went to in a room.
Yeah.
And then I believe the professor was not there. Assistant of the professor was
Yeah,
there, and
yeah.
they gave us our sheet, and we were discussing. We were asking questions.
Yeah.
Why this is marked? Why this how marked?
Yeah.
And we figured out okay, it's almost like logical.
Yeah, so you can discuss, like, because it can happen that sometimes if you like if they have a proper, you know, explanation, because they know
Correct.
about that subject, and they tell you that see, and also if you remember they have some sample key
That's true. That's
that
true.
see this type of answer, similar answer
There
we
was some sample answer
Key.
sheet with
Yeah.
them, so they said that this type of answer we were expecting.
Yeah, these
So if
points
you
we were
write-
expecting.
If you write something like that, we will give you marks.
Give you
If
marks.
Don't write any of
Yeah.
such key.
Yeah,
We will not give
if you don't
marks.
have these key points, then we mark like that. So sometimes you can receive that key as well, and you can discuss accordingly. Now one of the subject that was different as well for the review, which one is it, Muntasir?
Which one? SRES, I would
Yeah,
say.
SRES. Why is it different?
It was different because when we got the mail for SRES, it was 1 month later, and in those time
We
frame,
were at our-
we were at our home.
Yeah.
So you are not here, so we are confused. What should we do?
Yeah.
We mailed the assistant of the professor, the
Yeah.
TA, that we will not be here, and then she said, "Don't worry, we will give you another time slot.
Yeah.
Just be there on that time slot."
Correct.
And then after 2 months or 3 months, I believe 2 months later,
Yeah.
she mailed us again that these are the there were few more students like us who has missed the review.
Yeah.
So they on request that okay, we want to review. The TA said, "Come to my room."
Yeah.
It's not any room, any classroom or
Yeah.
any DFK in front of her. She just called us to her room and in a specific time slot.
Yeah, in the university. So suppose even if you are not here, it's always good if you can, you know, mail regarding the issue, and you have the proof as well. Like, okay, you are going, you are not here, you have the travel ticket, you know, if they ask. And then they gave us separate time slot, and we went in that time slot, and even we discussed there
Some of
and
the questions
some of the
there.
questions there as well. So this can also happen, that if you're not able to attend the review, which is, you know, for all the students, you can request, but the case has to be, I think, genuine.
That's true. That's true. Cases to be genuine. For some reason, for any special case that okay, for some reason you cannot attend, but you have solid proof that okay, this is why I cannot attend.
Yeah.
Then you can communicate with them, and then they will give you another chance to review.
Yeah, correct. So it depends, I think, really on case to case. Although, how was our PLE experience? I've made a video with subtitles. It is in Hindi, so you can watch where we went, how those buildings look like, and how was our experience. But now, Muntasir, in a nutshell, if we have covered different case where you can ask for a specific time slot. Maybe your room is there. You might have to go some other building rather than university. If we summarize our experience, how is the exam review here in RPTU Kaiserslautern?
So if we summarize, the review is usually less likely in 1 month, 1 or 2 months later, the review is there. And then there is a time slot. You go to there, they give you your answer sheet. You will see the marking on there that this is how it is graded. If you have any confusion, you can ask them. Sometimes if your question is not marked, you can ask them.
Yeah.
You can discuss with them, and then they will give you your answers. And if everything is solid, you will return your exam sheet to them.
Correct. And one of the recommendation here is that to clarify the questions that you have, like you need to have some, I think, background knowledge why you wrote that answer, what you meant, and not to ask directly the answer that give me the answer of this question. So you can ask that, it depends on you, but this is our, I think, recommendation that one should have the background knowledge of the answer that you wrote, and then you can discuss with the professor or the TA who are there to clarify your doubts. Anything else you want to add, Muntasir, regarding?
We are good. We almost covered many things.
Yeah, we covered about how was the exam review experience for us, like in different cases, PLE, SPPM. One more point which I remembered now. For VRS, we also received by mail our answer sheet.
Correct.
This is quite different because usually we did not receive our answer sheet for other subjects.
Correct.
We had to go to the evaluation session. There we see our answer sheet for the first time after giving the exam. But for VRS,
we got it in mail.
We got via mail the PDF, the entire PDF with marked. So you can go through that PDF, and then also you can go to the evaluation session, right?
Yeah, that's
So,
true. And for us, it was like good enough that okay, we saw the evaluation and we were satisfied with it.
Yeah.
So we didn't go to the evaluation. But in general, I would suggest go to the evaluation, go to the exam review.
Yeah.
Then you will realize how the professor is marking your answer sheet. And
Correct.
that will help you to in other cases as well.
Correct. Our SPPM professor also, very well explained about the answer points, because when some other students also come, and sometimes what used to happen is if someone who is maybe in front of you has clarified that query, you also get to know the answer that okay, this is how it should be answered. So I think to get the knowledge of those questions, you can, that depends if you can increase the marks, if it's logical, but you also get the knowledge why, like how these questions should be answered for these cases, on how you can write that in a brief way, or what points are expected from one student, so you can, I think, apply that knowledge to other subjects or other exams as well. So I think that's it for our exam review experience. Thank you, Muntasir, for sharing your experience, insights, and we reviewed certain exams, and I hope through this vlog you also get some idea how was our exam review experience for these subjects and what were the different cases, and if you have any of these cases, you can act accordingly. And I think I'll end this vlog now. Rest, like, comment, share, subscribe. It doesn't take much time. Bye, ciao, namaste. Chalo, see you in new day, new vlog. Also, you can go to different playlists and watch videos according to your interest. We have RPTU Kaiserslautern playlist where we have videos with our beloved Muntasir in English as well. You can watch that whenever you get time. Bye.